The All-Star event is here in Hockey Ultimate Team, which comes with a ton of new cards, as well as an all-new way for the format of the event to work that we are going to break down like we always do. If you guys want to take a look at the cards on your own time, you're not at your console, be sure to check out HUD or download the League Gaming app on iOS or Android and visit HUD in the app and get access to all of the cards and see all of the info about them right from your phone. Let's get into it. Let's start off with the Master Set players for Week 1 of the All-Star event, giving us 4 new 92 overall Master Set players. We'll start first with the 92 overall Teppo Numminen, 6'2", 198 with two-way defenseman as well as offensive, and he's got accelerator boost and checking boost, which would boost his skating just a little bit. 92 speed, 94 acceleration with accelerator boost activated, and a very good shot in the mid-90s. Hand stats are great except for the deking attribute, and again, the deking attribute will dictate how fast dekes and other things are pulled off, much like going left and right with the right thumbstick. So if you are someone that does that a lot, 88 is not going to have it be all that snappy. Body checking can get up to 92, and his defensive awareness and stick checking is basically max. Gold Seeing Eye is fun. Thunderclap has its usefulness with the buff this year as well. In reverse, not something I would ever activate. And then he does have Silver Shutdown, which is one of the best abilities in the game. So all in all, a pretty strong right defenseman option in a landscape in which there are not a ton of great ones outside of Oliver Bonk and Drew Doughty. Next, we've got Teemu Selanne. And this is a fantastic card. 6'209", has sniper and playmaking forward, as well as speed boost and agile dangler boost. So with that speed boost activated, gets up to 98 speed, 96 acceleration, 95 agility, 90 balance, and 89 endurance. His wrist shot is almost max. With sniper forward activated, it essentially is. His hand stats are all in the high 90s. All in all, just a fantastic forward card. And again, the card art for these, incredible. Love the touch of Toronto in the background. I've said this a number of times. The art team that they use for EA is top-notch. Has gold wheels, which, as we know, one of the better abilities on cards that have the high-end speed, which Teemu Selanne does. Has edges, which as well will stack with wheels, keeping that speed going left and right, make it snappy, and tape-to-tape are some peripheral abilities you can activate, but really just wheels and edges has proven to be one of the best combos in the game, especially if you've been using McKinnon and McDavid's Team of the Year. We've got a variant. Again, they've been doing this throughout the year, so if you really want to flex on people, the blue leaf variant, which is actually pretty cool if you are trying to flex on people with your Teemu Selanne card. Then we've got the 92 Patrick Elias, 6'1", 195, sniper and two-way forward, as well as defensive and playmaking boost. Interesting here is that there isn't any true centerman in this first week of release if you are looking for a centerman, but if you go two-way forward as well as defensive boost, his 85 faceoff rating quickly gets up into the 90s, so you could use him at center, and he has pretty good size for it, but more than likely you're going to want to play him on wing. He's got gold make it snappy, beauty backhand, elite edges, and puck on a string, so a really fun like puck handling card. Also maxes out his wrist shot essentially with sniper forward activated. Hand stats are all in the mid-90s except for hand-eye, and defensively he's fine as well. All in all, a fun-looking card here with the 92 Patrick Elias. And then we have one of the coolest MSPs that we've gotten in a long time. If you were born in the early 90s, Olaf Kolzig was one of the coolest goaltenders to use in the early franchise modes of the early 2000s. Not to mention, that pad setup was one of the best ever with those blue Screaming Eagle jerseys and the stars on the pads. Just absolutely loved Ole the goalie. He's got speed boost as well as defensive boost, and again, some other synergies you can activate, and gold showstopper, which in my opinion is the best goalie ability you can have in the game, and it's very cheap. And instincts, if you were looking for a second ability to activate, this is a very cheap 4 ability points to make your goaltender as good as possible. He's 6'3", so he's not elite like Markstrom or anyone of that size. He's got 93 speed, 63 aggression, and the important stats. I personally will probably try and make Olaf Kolzig simply because he was one of my favorite goalies when I was growing up as a kid, and goalies don't matter, but if you've been rocking like 85 Markstrom and stuff, and he's just been letting in these weird leaky goals, it's because the shooting attributes are getting so high, and attributes matter for goaltenders, that at a certain point, you kind of need like a 90s goaltender. So Olaf might be your guy. Okay, so now as you can see, there are 43 All-Star event player cards, and they work much differently than normal events, especially if you're new to HUT. You're going to want to pay attention here, because they can go up in overall, including attributes, as well as gain new abilities. So I'm going to touch on how they are going to work first, and then I will go through the full list of all of the other cards that they've released in this event. So here is a quick synopsis. There are major changes to the NHL All-Star Skills Competition that actually makes it insane this year. I'm super excited to actually get to go and watch it in Toronto. If you are in Toronto for the Skills Competition or the All-Star Weekend at all, and you see me around, I am there Thursday to Monday. If you see me, come say hi. Love meeting anyone in the community. So that being said, because of the changes to the skills competition, there is going to be 12 players. We know 10 of them as of the recording of this video, and I will go over them shortly. They will compete in at least 4 different competitions. The max they can play in is 6, and they can win multiple times. On top of that, in the All-Star game, every player will go up +1 overall for every goal that is scored by that player in the All-Star game, not anything to do with the skills competition. The goaltenders of the winning team will go up +2 overall, and the player that wins All-Star Game MVP will go up another +1. So again, keep that in mind. That is only for the All-Star Game. And remember, the maximum amount of games that they can play would be 2, and half of the players will lose in that first game and will only get 1 game total. So very rarely do you see a player score like 10 goals. It just doesn't happen. Now, since there are 43 event items, I'm not going to break down every single one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the 10 cards that are competing in the skills competition and show you them, because they can win additional abilities on top of the +1 for all the goals they score in the actual game. And then at the end, what I'll do is I will go through every single card for about 5 seconds. You can pause the video if you want to take a look at it. That'll just be after. So our first of the 10 known participants is Leon Draisaitl, 6'2", 208 with gold, unstoppable force, and beauty backhand. That's a great ability combo. He also gets accelerator boost, which will boost his acceleration to 88. Here is the issue, guys. Even if he scores, let's say 6 goals, all of his attributes will go up by 1, which would be 6. However, skating goes up by 0.5, meaning he would have to score 6 goals in the actual games for him to get to 90 speed. So keep that in mind when looking at all of these cards. Skating goes up by 0.5. Now, we don't know which competitions each of the players will compete in, but it'd be funny if he won like hardest shot and got silver thunderclap. Next up is Nikita Kucherov. This is a bit more interesting because he's already got 90 speed, 91 excel, and 90 agility. He's also got one of the best ability combos you can have in the game in gold edges, as well as unstoppable force, and a very good shot. In my opinion, this is one of the better all-star cards because he can win multiple events, but on top of that, he's already good. Like, the baseline risk is much more minimal than some of the other cards. Sniper forward also allows his wrist shot to get even higher in terms of his accuracy. So while he's not very big, he could win multiple events. I'd actually be curious to see the one-timer challenge, as that is one of the new challenges in the skill competition. He might get silver 1T. Nathan MacKinnon is another very, very safe one, and I cannot wait to see Nathan MacKinnon and Connor McDavid for $1 million. The winner of the skills competition, after all 8 events, whoever has the most points in the skills competition, will win $1 million. It doesn't matter if you're McKinnon or McDavid, $1 million to an NHL player is going to mean these guys are going to get on their horses in all of these events. So it'll be really fun to see who is the fastest skater. Nathan MacKinnon's card comes with speed boost, which gets his skating to 95, and that's if he doesn't score a single goal in the All-Star game. Has silver unstoppable force, which is great. Ankle breaker really isn't. However, if you are someone that stride dekes a lot, like myself now, it has been proven to be a little bit snappier. So again, another very safe one with Nathan MacKinnon. Cale Makar is also in the skills competition. 5'11", 187 with offensive defenseman and shooting boost. Obviously, the thing is a lot of these cards have Team of the Year cards already, so they're not going to mean a lot. If you are someone that is new to the game, you got it at Christmas, at the New Year's, these cards could be some of the best that you can get for a discounted price, so be on the lookout, because while Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon and those cards aren't going to be valuable to the majority of the player base that has been playing all year because they have either maybe Makar's X Factor or his Team of the Year, you can take advantage of that. And again, another baseline where even if he doesn't get an upgrade, he's still got 94 speed and excel. Austin Matthews will be competing. 6'3", 208, sniper forward, and speed boost. Again, the issue here is that his skating is low. He would have to score roughly about 4 goals, I would think, and then his skating would be pretty strong, at least in the 90s, because you could put him at center. If he scores 4 goals and gets 90 faceoffs, as well as gold unstoppable force and make it snappy, if he wins a few events in the skills competition, then we're laughing. The issue is that there's a 92 Star of the Month Matthews out there that might take a ton of price discounted because this Austin Matthews is out there now. So just make sure that if you're going to invest in this card, that the 92 Austin Matthews doesn't dip too much in price, because I'd rather just have that one. Then we've got Connor McDavid. 94 speed and excel, can get 92 agility. He's got shooting boost, gold edges, and silver ankle breaker. There are better Connor McDavid cards, quite a few. But again, very safe, and this one should be a very discounted card because a lot of people have Connor McDavid, whether it be his X Factor or Team of the Year. So again, if you are a newer player, these are the ones to watch out for. David Pastrnak from the Boston Bruins will be competing. He's got gold Make It Snappy and ankle breaker. The issue here is that Make It Snappy and Schneip don't stack. So if he gets Schneip and he wins the accuracy challenge, things like that, that's really not a big bonus for him. But he does have 90 speed, excel, and agility, so a baseline, again, pretty good card. Our next skills competitor is Jack Hughes. Playmaking forward as well as agile dangler boost, silver edges, and unstoppable force, 92 speed, 93 excel, 94 agility. And if you've been playing this game since the launch, Jack Hughes has been one of the best cards in the game at all times throughout. He's just fast, his shot is electric, he's got great hand stats, so this one could be pretty interesting. You know that he's going to bust out some deeks in the shootout challenge, things like that, so again, a threat for some of the events. Elias Pettersson up next, 6'2", 176 with two-way forward and shooting boost. Again, Make It Snappy and edges. Not great skating, but he is a little bit taller. However, I've never been able to use Elias Pettersson cards very well because he just gets knocked off the puck so easily, but he is in contention for scoring a bunch of goals in the All-Star game. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And lastly, of the 10 that we know, again, I will let you know once I know the other two competitors, once the NHL releases it, is the 87 Willie Nylander. Nylander cards have been great all year as well. This one's got 91 speed and excel, 90 agility. Again, he has the chance to score a bunch of goals in Toronto at the All-Star game. This could be a sneaky good buy for anyone that is hoping for a card to pop off. Now, when it comes to making a All-Star Master Set player, you are looking at 21 power-up collectibles to power them all the way up. We are getting to the stage now where as event items get a little bit higher in overall, EA does not scale that depending on the time of the year. So they think a 92 is worth 21 power-up collectibles. That's just an awful lot, and it's only going to cost more. So be prepared if you want to make a Master Set player. These roughly go for about 17,000 coins in terms of the power-up collectibles and the cost to make them. So you're looking at about 350,000 coins in value to make one of these Master Set players. Now, out of those 21 power-up collectibles, you will get 14 back, which is only about a net loss of 120,000 coins. So again, just keep that in mind. Now, since it will cost 21 power-up collectibles to upgrade fully, time to take a look and see how much EA is offering with the objectives for the All-Star event for Week 1. And if you complete all of these objectives in the All-Star Week 1 path, this will net you 10 power-up collectibles, which is valuable just in the sense that even if you don't want to create a Master Set player, 10 power-up collectibles can be used for any of the cards that you're trying to catch up with, whether it be Gretzky or Mario or an X Factor, or maybe Victor Hedman from the Nations of Hockey event if you still want to make him. It is going to require NHL All-Star player items that you can acquire for free, so let's go and take a look at those. So the first one that you can earn is the 85 Frank Mahovlich, again for free, by winning 10 games in Rivals, Hut Champs, or Squad Battles. You can do this again, rookie 2-minute periods on Squad Battles if you want to save the most time. Now, good old Hut Rush will give you an 83 Pete Stemkowski after 100,000 points, which is very easy to get if you are just doing the objectives. You will also get an All-Star collectible at 350,000 points, and then an 85 Dave Keon at 600 that will take a little bit longer to acquire, but again, those are the ways to make a free one. Also, if you go to the All-Star Moments, you can get another All-Star collectible, and I want to be very clear here, guys. Unless you are dead set on one of the first 4 Master Set players, I would not in any way make a Week 1 Master Set item and invest a ton of your collection to do so. The reason being is that we have no confirmation if this is a leak or just a random moment that they put in because it was an All-Star moment. But as you can see, the third moment is Danny Heatley scores 4 goals in his All-Star debut. And I have no idea if this is confirmation, but if we get a Danny Heatley Master Set player item, that is an S tier. I don't even care what abilities or attributes he has. So just keep that in mind. Now again, by completing these, you can get a power-up collectible by completing the first World versus North America, an All-Star collectible for completing the Daniel Alfredson moments, and then there is one for Tomas Hertl as well that just gives you a base pack. Now the fastest way to start getting these All-Star moments done would be to actually make the Master Set player item. So you can grab a few all-star collectibles for free and just make one of the Master Set players, and it only requires 2 of them. You don't need to power them up to get the objectives finished. It's very, very easy to just throw the 83s in your lineup and get them done. I would recommend you, no matter what, at first, make Olaf Kolzig. The reason being is that you can make him and then throw him into your backup goalie spot and play all of your games if you don't want to grind out squad battles, and at least you are starting towards the games played objective, and he can be 83. It doesn't matter. He's not going to see the ice. Now, you can also do massive trade-ins for various card overalls. Nothing new here. The furthest one that you can do is the 88 and above. This will net you 14 all-star collectibles and 2 players packs. Again, it only costs 8 to make all of the Master Set player items, so keep that in mind. What I do personally, just because I don't feel like grinding it out and getting them all for free completely, what I'll do is I'll just burn some random cards that I don't need. Honestly, the one I like doing, even though it's not the best value, is just trading in 8 gold cards that are untradeable and grabbing a bunch of the collectibles so that I can just make all the Master Set players and start burning through the objectives. Now, the other set that we've got is the random NHL All-Star player set. You will exchange our All-Star collectibles and you will acquire a random NHL All-Star item. This is not the Master Set players. You will just get 1 random out of the 43 that I showed you earlier. This isn't even close to worth it, so avoid entirely. For anyone that still has Team of the Year collectibles, don't forget that if you have extras, like if you earned the 15 for free from the women's Team of the Year objectives and didn't use them, you can make 3 ultimate packs, which is what I would recommend you do, or you can make more jumbo NHL players packs. This is what I would do if you were trying to make team builder cards. And then finally, the premium players pack. It depends on the amount of collectibles you have, but if you have 15, I just did 3 ultimate packs. You can also go back and make all of the Hutverse event items, so those are all still there. So like I said, here are all of the cards. I will leave them on the screen for a few seconds. Pause the video on the cards that you want to take a look at them, or you can visit Hut Hub. But just to make it easier, here are all the 87 NHL All-Star player items. That's going to do it for everything you need to know about the week 1 of the All-Star event. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.